Welcome, dear friends. Please note that this content is for educational purposes only. It does not constitute medical advice. Today, we will discuss circuit number 6, Reality Monitoring and Salience Integration Circuit, Associated Phenotypes and Pharmacological Strategies, emphasizing not just what we prescribe, but why we prescribe it, how it works at the molecular and systems level. Let us get straight into it. The Reality Monitoring and Salience Integration Circuit. Key nodes include the ventral striatum, the thalamus, and the salience network anchored in the anterior insula. Disruption here leads to classic psychotic phenotypes. We see three core presentations: auditory hallucinations, persecutory delusions, and thought insertion. So let's begin with phenotype 1, auditory hallucinations, where the patient perceives voices or sounds without external stimuli. This reflects aberrant salience attribution to internal speech chapter, misidentified as external due to impaired self-monitoring. Moving on to phenotype 2, persecutory delusions. The patient is convinced they are being targeted or harmed. This involves hyperactive salience signaling, coupled with biased threat interpretation in prefrontal limbic circuits. Finally, the third phenotype, thought insertion, where the patient feels alien thoughts are placed into their mind. This represents a breakdown in source monitoring and agency attribution within corticostriatal loops. For all these psychotic phenotypes, the established first-line pharmacology remains atypical antipsychotics. Contemporary models suggest the symptoms arise from dysregulated salience attribution, involving cortical glutamate dysfunction, thalamic sensory gating abnormalities, and striatal dopamine dysregulation. Atypical antipsychotics like risperidone, olanzapine combine D2 antagonism with 5-HT2 ampere blockade, which may mitigate extrapyramidal symptoms and improve negative or cognitive symptoms via enhanced prefrontal dopamine release. Clozapine, with its broad receptor profile including D4-5, HT2 ampere 5, HT2C, and muscarinic antagonism, remains the gold standard for treatment-resistant psychosis, but requires monitoring. For agranulocytosis and metabolic syndrome, the therapeutic goal is not simply dopamine blockade, but normalization of corticostriatothalmocortical loops and salience network integration. Understanding these phenotypes and their mechanisms allows us to move beyond one-size-fits-all prescribing towards personalized, circuit-informed care. However, remember that these networks interact dynamically, and treatment must be individualized based on developmental stage, comorbidities, and patient preferences. If you found this mechanism-based clinical breakdown useful for your daily practice or academic preparation, hit the like button and subscribe for more mechanism-based content. Drop a comment below with which phenotype you find most challenging to manage. Thank you for watching.